We focused on energy efficient house design and ways to make the house more energy efficient.
In this video, the basics of passive housing will be explained, as well as how a heat pump works.
The construction of houses is important to conserve hot and cold air, depending on the season, and maximize the use of external heat sources to create the highest efficiency. The movement of the sun in different seasons is important to understand when designing a house. Here is the movement of the summer sun. It is high in the sky. You can maximize shade in the summer by designing eaves or overhangs on your house. Here you can see the sun does not stream into the north side window, which creates more shade. In winter, the sun is lower in the sky, which means the sun can penetrate the windows, creating heat gain and reducing the need for artificial heating. This view shows the winter sun shining through the windows. Shading methods are important because you need to maximize heat gain in the winter and increase shade in the summer. A simple way of maximizing efficiency is to create eaves for your house. Thermal mass has the ability to store and release heat. This can be heavyweight materials like brick or concrete, but they need to be on the interior to work as thermal mass. The advantage to thermal mass is that it moderates the temperature within the home in both winter and summer. The winter sun shines in the house onto the thermal mass, which absorbs the heat of the sunlight. At night, the heat from the thermal mass gets released into the home and helps to maintain the temperature, requiring less artificial heating. The summer sun is higher in the sky, so with the correctly sized and proportioned eaves, you can keep your house cooler by keeping the sunlight out. During the day, the heat inside the house is absorbed by thermal mass, which is cooler because it is in contact with the cooler earth. At night, as the air cools, thermal mass releases heat back into the room, maintaining a consistent temperature.
My name is Guy Payne, and I'm the Executive Director of the Sustainable Energy Outreach Network, SEON. And what SEON is a local organization that's really connecting all small business, not necessarily small, but all businesses and higher ed and public sector participants in the renewable energy and energy efficient field. So there are a number of issues, but I think a lot of it comes to, can we bring the public up to a point of education so that they are learning the value of a high performance home. They're learning that it's not as costly as they think it is. And to have them have opportunities to say, I got all these issues, who do I go to? I mean, the first step is to have an energy audit by a qualified practitioner. The heat pumps, in terms of its electrical usage, is considerably less expensive than your typical electric resistant heat. It's about 2.5 to 3 times more efficient, because all it's really doing is running the fan and the compressor. And you're taking advantage of the expansion and the contraction of your refrigerant. Yeah. And so the efficiency is huge. It's important for people to begin taking advantage, not to take advantage, to really pursue buttoning up their home and making that the air leak, stopping the air leakage and improving the insulation within the house.
An air pump transfers heat from the air in the room using a refrigerant to facilitate temperature exchange. This is a model of a heat pump. As the refrigerant cycles through the system, it switches between liquid and vaporous states. The refrigerant starts the cycle as a liquid, flowing through the tubes exposed to room temperature. The refrigerant in a liquid state is colder than the room air, so the liquid absorbs the heat in the room. This heating is expedited in the evaporator, with many fans designed to blow the room temperature over the tubes holding the refrigerant. The heating, using room temperature air, causes the refrigerant to become a vapor, flowing into the compressor from the evaporator. The compressor, which increases pressure, heats the vapor to the extent where it can be useful. The compressor then forces the now hot refrigerant into the condenser, which holds the water that will be heated. The heat leaves the refrigerant and goes into the water, decreasing the temperature of the refrigerant and raising the temperature of the water. The now cooler refrigerant then goes through the expansion valve, decreasing the pressure and readying it for the next cycle of heating and pressurizing.
But I think part of it is, how do we get there? I think it really boils down to a lot of the educational side. And a lot from folks to begin saying it's not as expensive and costly as you think it is.